cos pi over 4 plus pi over 3. So I just want to figure out what pi over 4 plus pi over 3 is. So we need to find a common denominator and then add the numerators and we get 7 pi over 12. Cos of 7 pi over 12 is not on the unit circle. So this is one where we're not doing a verification. We're actually finding an exact value for cosine of an angle that is not on our unit circle for the first time. So first thing I'm going to do, I know it's cos and it's plus. So I'm going to look and I find my formula is cos alpha cos beta minus sine alpha sine beta. So I'm just going to set up cos cos minus sine sine. And then I'm going to put the pi over 4 in the first position of both, and then pi over 3 in the second spot of both of those. So we end up with cos pi over 4 times cos pi over 3 minus sine pi over 4 times sine pi over 3. Cos of pi over 4 is root 2 over 2. Cos of pi over 3 is a half, minus the sine of pi over 4 is root 2 over 2, times the sine of pi over 3 is root 3 over 2. Root 2 over 2 times a half is just root 2 times 1 is root 2. 2 times 2 is 4, so it's root 2 over 4. Minus root 2 over 2 times root 3 over 2 is root 6 over 4. It's already got a common denominator, which will always happen when you're using the sum or difference identities. So we just need to subtract the numerators, but we can't subtract root 2 minus root 6 because they're not the same radical. So I'm just leaving it then as root 2 minus root 6 all over 4. So just because this 7 pi over 12 isn't on the unit circle doesn't mean we can't verify it. So on your calculator, you can go root 2 minus root 6 divided by 4, and I got negative 0.258819, and then etc., etc. And then on the calculator, I can also figure out the cosine of 7 pi over 12. Make sure your calculator is in radians. And I also got negative 0.258819, etc., etc. So it's the same. So it's definitely the right answer.